Well, we've been telling you about President Obama's plans to bypass Congress completely and announce amnesty to millions of illegals tonight. Actor and singer Robert Davi, friend of this program, comes from a family of immigrants. He joins us live. Good to have you today.
Great. Thank you for having me. Good to see all of you.
So what do you think? We're all families of immigrants.
Right.
What do you think about this amnesty plan?
Well, first off...
executive action plan.
Executive action plan. Well, like you said, Judge Napolitano covered that base pretty well this morning on that. I don't know all the legal implications. I know the emotional implications of it all.
Perfect.
And for me, it's frustrating. In 2010, I wrote an article in Big Hollywood, Breitbart column, about the GOP taking the lead on immigration. 2010. So the bigger frustration for me sometimes is like a marketing plan for a Hollywood movie. They should have been out front on immigration with a 10-point plan, something already established.
George W. Bush tried to do it years ago.
Sure.
Yeah.
But Republicans blocked it. His own party blocked it. He tried to be brave about it and do it.
And you have to do that. They keep sitting on their hands. I think they lack some imagination and some cojones sometimes.
Right.
And right now, look at it. I think that President Obama said he wanted to fundamentally change America. His philosophical outlook of America is different. How he sees it, that ball of America, is different. He has a different prism.
Well, and how he sees his role seems pretty different. I mean, the majority of Americans right now don't favor this executive action. They don't want a kingship, right? And then you have Representative Sheila Lee. Did you hear her? Sheila Lee Jackson went out and said that it was actually irresponsible, selfish to not do anything right now. Listen to this, Robert, and I'd love your reaction.
This is not amnesty. This is prioritization. This is saving money. This is keeping families together. This is allowing children to not come home to places where their parents have been thrown from their places of work and taken away from them. I'm excited about the courage of this president. I look forward to America finally understanding the gifts that you are given. Let us not be a selfish nation. Let us be a generous nation, and let us help those who are in this country who are working every day, including many of our soldiers.
So there's Sheila Jackson Lee really hitting on the emotion that you just talked about. This is an emotional issue.
Look,
what are your thoughts?
My thoughts, this is such a nuanced and complex and big issue. First off, that makes me want to go nuts, her statement here. We're Americans in this country. My family came from Italy. They learned English. They went through a process. They didn't come here illegally. All right? What about the people here in America, the guy that said 100,000 kids were killed by immigrants?
And his own son.
And his own son. So the emotionalizing, that's pandering. It's a pandering motion for the Democratic Progressive Party to widen its tent. At the same time, yeah, there is a compassionate aspect to it. We have to come up with some kind of plan. But a plan of accountability in immigration. I mapped out my plan, basically, in 2010 with the GOP, which had the... not different than a lot of others, but my caveat was that everyone that was here, first, you know what Congress should do right now? They should get their hands out and start a bill that says English is the national language of America. No more press 2 for Spanish or press 2 for this. My parents came from Italy. It wasn't press 2 for Italian. My grandfather had to learn Italian because the assimilation of an immigrant population into our country, because it's 5 million immigrants, but each one of those have children. Yeah. So the voting populace, they're going to sit back and say, President Obama and the Democratic Party voted for this, and the Republicans didn't. So it's another marketing ploy on this whole thing. And I've spoken to a lot of illegal immigrants, a lot of them, because I like to find out what their feelings are, from Pakistanis to the Latinos in Los Angeles.
What do they say?
When I talk about this, and I mapped out my plan, the one different caveat, besides protecting our borders and all the other stuff, and fixing immigration, freezing it for 2 years, my thing was for every year that illegal has been here, they have to give community service 4 hours a week until their time is done. It doesn't hit them in the pocket. It puts them in terms of and learning English. And these guys talk to these other guys, these migrant workers, in Spanish, and they all nodded their heads.
Yeah.
Fair. So, but go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, we don't know exactly what the president's got planned. We think we know. We won't know until 8 o'clock tonight, and then we'll be able to criticize it effectively. Yeah. But before you go, we want to talk to you a little bit about why you're in the area. You're doing some singing in English this weekend.
In English, yes.
Where will you be singing?
I'll be at the Foxwoods Casino in Connecticut. That's a great casino, the Foxwoods Resort and Casino. I'll be there November 22nd.
Wearing that hat?
No, I won't wear that hat. That hat's in LA. Where did they get that picture? That's like one of these bad snapshots. I mean, it drives me nuts. And then I'll be, of course, in Long Island, my hometown, Huntington, Long Island, on November 23rd. So I hope people come out and see that. And I won't talk about immigration, but I will talk about my Italian grandparents.
I bet you will.
And you'll sound great.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you, guys. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you.
Thank you, sir.